Hello everyone and welcome to the Alaska region of EGFH Season 3 for Overwatch. Today we have a best of 4 match between the Palmer Moose Overlords and the Valley Pathways Arctic Foxes. I of course want to thank our sponsor Mob Crush for helping make this season possible. My name is Cool J, and for this series I'm joined by Flabby Man.
How's it going, Cool J? Yes, I am Flabby Man, and we're going to be getting into this series between the Moose Overlords and the Arctic Foxes. This season, the map order is Escort, Control, Assault, Hybrid, and then the tiebreaker is going to be Escort again. This season's map order is Junkertown, Fall, Sky Industry, Losers World, and then One Point Control. So we're going to be popping right into this game in a little bit. So, as we're looking into this, can you tell me a little about the comps that we're using? I know Ghost is pretty popular, like triple quad DPS is probably starting to make some things.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like the meta right now is really diverse, and this often happens in periods where there's not really any pros, like pro matches to watch. So, a lot of people think that a lot of different things are viable. To me, I think that as long as GOATS is viable, it's going to be really top tier, because people that play GOATS well, it's just almost impossible to stop them. But we'll see how things go. Junkertown does tend to be more of an open ranged map, which for GOATS isn't very good, at least until the last section there when they're fighting around the old I think people call it the ceiling fan. I can't remember.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about. I mean, for this map, I would probably say dive would probably work pretty well, or the classic like pirate ship. Kind of depends on exactly how you want to set it up, but I mean, there are a couple different ways they can go about this to get it all started. I mean, offense and defense have a couple different options. I mean, you can even see a Bastion on defense. There are a couple of different places to set up, but potentially can get, routed with all the different flank options.
Yeah, and we'll see. So far, for today, we have, of course, the Valley Pathways Arctic Foxes are going to be in the red starting on the attack, and the Palmer Moose Overlords are going to be in the blue starting on defense. And so far, it looks like they're both running... Well, they're actually both running pretty different things. On the offense, we're going to see a Pharmacy coming out thanks to Flameboy and the Dr. Skeleton. They're also going to be seeing a Mercy Moira combo. Something I've seen a lot is that Mercy is still very alive and well. We are going to be seeing somewhat of a GOATS coming out from this defense. It's more of just an Orisa Hog, the old style halt and hook combo. So we'll see how that works out against this Pharah, who tends to be considered a counter to this comp because they are so close range. We see a kill coming out early. Spire, this offensive soldier, going down. He's going to get rezzed up, and this payload's still pushing on forward. They need to make an engagement on the ground. It looks like it's coming as Parallax gets knocked out of the mech, and Jargon going down very low on the Orisa, but it looks like this push is going to get stopped. They just don't seem to want to drop down. And there they go. They're going to drop down and the fight engages.
Yeah, both compositions with a 2-2 right now, and I mean, Pharah has a lot of free range, but not landing all the direct rockets with the shield and how they're positioned. So, if she starts really landing those rockets, it'll turn around pretty well.
And I think that Night on this soldier for the defense, as he finds a kill on a White River, he's going to be a real key player, because trying to deal with that Pharmacy as a hit scan, personally, as someone who's played a lot of hit scan, it's not a fun thing to do, and he's really all by himself. They don't even have a Zen or anything to help him. So, meanwhile, the attack flies are coming out from Spire for VP Arctic Foxes, but not finding much of anything there. They are going to push the payload forward just a bit more, but I don't think they're going to get any real progress, as Flameboy on the Pharah somehow ends up taking himself out there. Parallax is going to get knocked out of the mech. Mr. Gerbear getting a nice charge onto Night, but Flameboy still in spawn, so not going to be able to take advantage of the fact that that soldier's down.
Yeah, a pretty interesting, options here, and we see the hammer down coming out. We see a lot of ultimates coming out, and right now still no kills until the
yeah, we saw that Tyre trying to come through the back line, Flameboy using that barrage as well, but like you said, it doesn't seem like they're making the combo the way they really wanted to. That Supercharger going down, but of course Jargon goes down with it. Mr. Gopher using that whole hog, trying to find some damage in the back here. Looks like he might have been lagging out there. He got stuck into this one room. Mr. Jerbear going down. There goes White River as well. And I think that's going to be it finally. But no, Arctic Fox is still trying to push this. Spire using that tack visor, trying to find some kills. He finds a kill on a Drantipants. Lots of damage. Many members of this defense are low, but not for long. There's so much healing with the Mercy and the Brig there. Drantipants getting rezzed up, and just like that, they're at full strength once again.
Yeah, I think the real problem is not targeting this Mercy. She's been able to get res after they're pretty good picks on each time they've been able to get them, but they're just not able to push past the shields and all the heals that are coming out.
Yeah, I'd really like to mention Mr. Gopher specifically on this hog. His positioning can seem pretty weird, but he's really making strong plays. He's playing conservative when he needs to, and he's pushing and taking advantage of the huge damage that can come from the hog hooks. Meanwhile, the Diva Bomb comes out in the combo. Flameboy in the background with the barrage. You saw that the Diva Bomb forced them out away from their cover. Flameboy just feeding on them, finding 3, and now this payload might actually make it to the first checkpoint.
Yeah, what a play. That was a great job coordinating that. You know, everyone wanted to get behind their own shield or whatnot to avoid the Diva Bomb, and that just opened them up for a huge barrage to come out. Although you're going to see 5, almost 6 ultimates for this final push, and so, you know, I expect it to be stopped before they get there.
Yeah, and we see a 3-man tire from Drantipants. Mr. Gopher is on point to contest, and Dr. Skeleton going down before he can res. We do see a tack visor coming out from Night Knight. He's going to find quite a bit of damage, taking out Parallax's mech, and that was a fantastic retake. You called it personally. Drantipants coming out with that tire, and of course Mr. Gopher coming onto the point. Fantastic combo by them on this defense.
Absolutely, and funnily enough, the Mercy ultimate has not been popped. I don't think it was popped at all from the Moose Overlords there, which is interesting, but I guess it just was never needed, you know, throughout that engagement.
Yeah, I think they might have, for a long time, they didn't need it, and then they kind of got wiped by that barrage. So I think they were planning to use it for that contest there, but then they just got the 3-man tire, and they said, well, we'll go with this. Got the...
No, absolutely. And, you know, them getting in there and only using the, you know, rip tire to stop that entire push basically was pretty impressive. And then obviously Night Knight did pop his tack visor at the end to secure the rest of the kills before them just kind of running out the time.
Yeah, I definitely see, and actually, I'm getting distracted here. I don't know if Flameboy and Spire are messing with me, but they're on the Bastion Torb strat with double shields for this defense. That could be brutal. I guess it makes sense since they have to hold the first section. Yeah. But boy, that's just oof.
It's an interesting composition. I mean, triple shield if you count Brig, but you know, honestly, if they get the halt hook off on this Bastion, I think it's game over. They're gonna get the full push unless Mercy can get a clutch res off.
Definitely, but I do think that's something that it looks like the Moose Overlords need to work on is that halt hook combo. They did have quite a bit of good individual plays, but aside from that tire combo, it seems like they couldn't find the combos they were looking for. So we'll see if they can get it this time. Drantipants going to be spamming on that Junkrat again, trying to deal with these double shields alongside Mr. Gopher. That is a ton of damage, but it's also a ton of shield. The Reinhardt gets hooked down, though, after his shield goes down. So Mr. Jerbear all by himself on the low ground, which means there's only one shield left, that Orisa shield. Mr. Jerbear gets taken down, and there goes Spire's turret as well. Flameboy able to take down Night Knight, but he goes down to a flank thanks to Dr. Bright and Gopher. Dr. Skeleton trying to get the res but gets taken down, and I think that might be it for this map as Drantipants goes down with the Riptire, finds yet another.
Absolutely. I think Mr. Gopher, I would say, is the MVP of this offense. Like, getting the flank or getting the hook on Reinhardt immediately, and then as well going on the flank, you know, messing with Dr. Skeleton on Mercy and everybody else has been pretty insane.
Yeah, and we see they have to try and contest here. They're making a good effort of it, but Mr. Jerbear just taking too much damage. However, Flameboy able to set up on this high ground. Will he be able to find enough damage to keep his teammates alive? But no, he's going to go down. I think that's going to be it. They're just going to fight off these few stragglers, and there we go. Junkertown, map 1, going to the Palmer Moose Overlords. That is a
Very,
great name.
yeah, I know, the Moose Overlords. That was a very, very impressive, offense, and we're gonna see the play of the game here by Dranty Pants. It's probably gonna be that 3K tire, right?
Obviously it's got to be. He's going to come right through here. Just awareness of the situation, knows people would be expecting it to come out of that first window, and also that his teammates were standing in that first window. Wants to keep it alive, give it the best chance to get that damage off there, and he does, and that's.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think they did an absolutely phenomenal job of actually getting on the point because, to contest that with how little amount they had left, one of the other Arctic Foxes could have just jumped on that payload if nobody had come down to actually stop the progress. So impressive job and coordination all around to really, stop the payload before they captured that first point.
Yeah, and so we didn't really see goats on either side there. Both sides seem to have kind of a favored comp, especially Palmer seemed to really prefer playing with that Orisa Hog combo. So I'm interested to see how that plays out, because as we both mentioned, Mr. Gopher was really making plays on that Roadhog, so we'll see if he can continue to do.
Absolutely, and Nepal probably, I would say it's a pretty good map to have a Roadhog on. Like, you can do a lot with it in terms of getting pickoffs, and so I expect to see some more Roadhog play as we continue this. And the 2-2-2 comps that both have been running, I could say I could see a change to goats from one of them at least.
I would say the toughest thing though about Nepal is that the Orisa Hog is really only great on Sanctum. It's very tough to play it on Temple, and you can play it on Village, but it's not the best. So I'm interested to see how well they do continuing on.
Yeah, absolutely. And we're going to be getting right into this game. Like we said, we are going to control. This is going to be on Nepal. So, as we get into this, we're going to see exactly what map we get into to start off the, best of 3 series on Nepal.
And it looks like it will be Village. At least I'm pretty sure it's Village.
Yeah.
And so as you can see, the challenge of this one, there's so many corners, but it's still kind of a longer ranged map unless you want to hold from the point. So getting that initial cap, if they want to continue playing this Orisa Hog comp, the initial fight win is going to be the most important for them, because it's going to be very difficult for them to retake if they continue with that composition.
Absolutely. And we haven't seen either team pick a Mei yet, but this is probably a great point for a Mei. Blizzard covers the entire point. You're going to be seeing them be able to cut off the entrances if they're going to be doing that. But as we're just looking at the initial team comps, we see Dive, and then we do see that Orisa Hog. So this should be a very, very interesting, matchup right now.
Yeah, it's funny. I haven't seen Dive in so long. It was almost like a great awakening to see something that wasn't goats. But I think it should be really interesting to see how they play into this here. But it looks like the entire side of the Moose Overlords has become somewhat of a specialist, and this may be one of their advantages. They don't have the advantage in terms of playing a lot of different comps, but being able to be the best at the comp that they play definitely is an advantage.
Absolutely, I agree with you. And you see them taking an early, position on the point right now, but I don't know if that's going to be a good thing, as Mr. Jerbear does get taken down.
Yeah, Mr. Jerbear just getting caught out a bit, as they didn't seem to have a unified dive, and now that's the Moose Overlords opening. They're pushing in, and bodies are falling. The kill feed fills up with blue, and there we go. That's almost a team kill for the side of the Moose Overlords as they get a quick...
Delayed team kill, and Mr. Jerbear going in before he hits any of his teammates. I'd say you want to wait to regroup and go in as, get all 6 together before you want to make that, run.
Yeah, that was an unfortunate stagger play for them. Luckily, it seems like they won't be making the same mistake again. And right as I say that, White River getting hooked and Mr. Gopher continuing to do work on this hog. I think the Arctic Foxes really need to try and disengage here as Mr. Gopher is just
Insane
continuing.
hook.
6 seconds. It's just somebody's gonna die. There goes the hook onto Winston. He finds 2 in a row right there on the combo with Dranty Pants and Jargon. He doesn't even need the halt.
Yeah, what a comedy. This is a displacement team for sure. You see Orisa and Junkrat really stepping up to to put these Arctic Foxes out of position to just get easily hooked by Mr. Gopher.
Yeah, he actually finds another hook onto Mr. Jarebird, brings him right into the Junkrat trap. We do see Flameboy coming into the backline, trying to get some work done on this Genji. Tracer's there with him, but Genji going down, Moira going down. Tracer's kind of stuck behind all by herself, but Parallax finds 2 on this Tracer. Unable to escape with her life, though.
Sadly,
but now
it was all in vain, as even though it did take out Roadhog and the Mercy, that was after the rest of the team had unfortunately been taken care of.
Well, I would say the Moose Overlords need to be very careful here. They're effectively down 3 because of those kills. And if the Arctic Foxes play this right, they're coming in with the Coalescence and the Supercharger. We'll see if they can get what they're looking for. Another hook by Mr. Gopher, but unable to find the kill. And there is a double combo from the side of the Moose Overlords. Make it triple using that Tac Visor, using the Supercharger. So much damage here. Flameboy trying to get some kills with that Dragon Blade, but too much blue surrounding him there, and that is going to be a dominant showing on Village from the Moose Overlords.
Absolutely. The impressive thing, I would say, probably is their ability to not use their ultimates. The awareness to just hold them and then basically save them. That's 2 times at 99%, or right before the end of the first point capture, that they have like all 6 ultimates ready to go.
Yeah, I would definitely say this is a very disciplined team. They are very strong in their ult economy. They don't use ults unless they absolutely need to, which puts them in positions to really win those make-or-break moments in the end of the round.
Yeah. And as we continue to get into this map, we're going to see only one team running the Lucio, which is a little bit interesting, as you normally want to get onto the point quickly and, get the team healing as you're fighting there.
I've kind of seen that in general, though. After Lucio's changes, people have seen that he's not really necessary on King of the Hill maps like people used to think he was. It does certainly give an advantage, though, of position, and we're seeing that it's not as big of an advantage as you think, as the Arctic Foxes already losing Flameboy, and now having to retreat, Snow Parallax going down as well. They are running a triple DPS composition with just Spire solo tanking on the Rhine, but it's going to be a big struggle. Skeleton able to get a res onto Spire. Spire actually finding a charge kill onto Dr. Bright, but goes down in quick succession. And an early tire coming out from Dranty Pants finds 2, and that should secure this first point cap for them.
Absolutely. What an incredible job by, I would say, Mr. Gopher single-handedly getting the first 2 kills again with his picks, and then, them just securing the point with that great rip tire by Dranty Pants.
Yeah, and we see now much of the same problems we saw in the last round. Really just problems of staggering with the Arctic Foxes. Not quite as disciplined as they want to be. And I think that's really been their downfall so far today.
Yeah, I don't see anything really necessarily wrong with their mechanics. It's just more their coordination that's been a little bit off right now.
Right, this isn't 6 players playing solo queue. This is real team coordination, and it's something that takes a lot of time and a lot of practice. As we see another fight breaking out here, Dranty Pants gets res, but in quick succession finds a double kill. Flameboy and Parallax both find themselves caught out here. Parallax is able to escape, but Flameboy fortunately not finding the same fate, and Dranty Pants catches Parallax anyway. There's no escaping this Junkrat.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been pretty impressive. And you see Night Knight just take out, Whiteriver with the help of Jargon's halt combination. So I'm expecting to see another, 99 hold as you see Mr. Gopher and Dranty Pants pop their ultimates.
Yeah, but actually we see a nice fire flame strike from Spire taking out that Riptire, but unfortunately, Mr. Gopher, despite actually getting caught out there, is gonna get away unpunished with a kill onto Spire to boot. He's going to come around the backside here, looking for a hook. Doesn't quite find it. Drain Pants goes down. That's a lot of damage down for the side of the Moose Overlords. So the Arctic Foxes are taking their advantage. Flameboy, though, going down early. Spire getting caught out as well. He's in trouble. He's not going to survive much longer. His hammer down doesn't really land, and he's going to go down. But Jargon goes down as well. They're fighting back and forth on the point. Bear goes down, and there comes a tack visor from Night Knight. He's finding 3, and that was the decider. Nepal going to be going to the Moose Overlords as well.
Yeah, that was a pretty well played set by the Reinhardt there to get onto the point, almost get a pin, but then wasn't able to land the shatter. That would have been so clutch to hit a couple more people and then have it follow up with, a flame strike and your couple swings to take them out.
Yeah, and here we see that initial fight. Drain Pants getting a tire very early on, able to finish off 3 people in that first fight. That's a huge advantage in an early fight where nobody really gets.
Exactly. Not having any support ultimates to counter that is going to be a huge reason as to why they just quickly, took those people out and then just took control of the point. And then from there, it was the story that we saw kind of since we started this series. It was just they'll get control of the point first, and then from there they just hold on to their ultimates, get some pickoffs to not let them group up and push together, and then take the victory.
And now we're going to Volskaya Industries, Moose Overlords with a 2-0 lead. They're going to be starting on the defense once again. And actually, sorry, they're going to be starting on the offense this time. And Volskaya, and in general, when you get to the third map, as like someone with a little bit of competitive experience, competitive air quotes, the third map, especially in a series like this where it's so difficult, is where tilt starts to come in and, really seeing who is more psychologically sound. And that's just, there's so many challenges that people don't see to matches like this. So we'll see how Arctic Foxes respond to this kind of adversity and see if they can make a comeback, because Moose Overlords really tries to go for that stifling defensive plays, and stifling defense can be especially devastating on Volskaya Industries.
Absolutely. I mean, if we're gonna see, I honestly think that the Bastion kind of shield composition that they started with on Junkertown could be a good start to this defense on point 1 at Volskaya. Like, you have a lot of different places that you can set up where if you get the shields up properly, you're not going to be able to get on the point without taking some heavy damage.
But they're going to have to be careful and make sure that they're staying behind the shields, because last time what happened was Bear's shield got broken. So there was almost no protection for him from that hook. That's how he got taken down, and that's how that Bastion comp fell in the first place. It was, as you mentioned as well, you mentioned that halt hook combo would be the downfall if they were going to break through it. So we'll see if they try and do the same thing, or maybe they switch it up once again. I know Flameboy likes playing a Pharah, and Moose Overlords don't really have an answer for the Pharah. They just kind of ignored it.
Yeah.
Which did kind of work, but on Volskaya, Pharah can be even stronger than she is on the first map, which was Junkertown. Junkertown, it is open, but it's really not very good for Pharah, just because a lot of her counters are very strong on Junkertown, and a lot of the angles make it very difficult to hit direct hits, which, as we know, since kind of her change is even more important now than it used to be.
Oh, absolutely. I think that'll be pretty essential. But the one thing is, I think both teams have been running Soldier every time, so Pharah may not be the best, because, if you have your hit scan on, you'll be able to take her out pretty quickly.
Yeah, and we'll see what the teams come out with. As I mentioned earlier, we are going to be seeing the Moose Overlords starting on attack this time, as I take a look anyway at this gorgeous statue outside the attacker's spot. And so we're going to be seeing, it looks like they're setting up the defense with a Bastion comp, but this time they're going with a Reaper alongside of it, and Ana Lucio, instead of, I think last time they had Brig Mercy with maybe a Junkrat. So maybe this will help them. Dr. Skeleton trying to prey on the fact that I think they've recognized that the Moose Overlords really prefer to play a more close range style. So maybe that's what they're trying to counteract here. And actually, we're seeing Mr. Gopher off of his Patent Roadhog and now onto the Reaper, trading one shotgun in for two. So we'll see how that change affects this match as well. We're going to see Night Knight on the Diva.
Yeah, and that's going to be a really big change between both getting Reaper and Diva. Like, this will be really good to stop the Bastion, just have Diva go up there, defense matrix it, and getting an early pickoff is going to be huge.
Yeah, Dr. Skeleton going down. There was a big nade from White River. Many members of the Moose Overlords were purpled, but unable to take advantage. So now Moose Overlords going to push in because they have the man advantage, but that Bastion, that is some, like, destructive fire coming up from the high ground, but he doesn't hear the Reaper coming up behind him. Mr. Gopher might get the kill here, and he does, and that might be it for this point, as Parallax's shield goes down as well. Flameboy Parallax taken down. That should be it. A relatively slow first cap for the Moose Overlords, but nonetheless, it looks like they're going to finish it off here. Sound barrier coming out from the defense of the Arctic Foxes, but not sure if that's going to be enough.
Just a little bit of a stall. I wish he would have held it for point 2, because that would have been really good. But Mr. Gopher just flanking around, going right behind Bastion, and nobody caught him, was the game changer. Because they actually did a really good job of holding at that front choke. But, you know, until he got picked off, it just couldn't do it.
And I'm glad you mentioned, you know, trying to save that sound barrier, because look at the ult economy here. 4 ults up for this attack. 2 more soon to come. They just found a kill on Deriver, and there's only 1 ult up for this defense. Here comes a tire from Dranty Pants. Will it find anything? It does. Flameboy goes down. Bastion out of the way. There goes Skeleton. Now this defense is down to 3 as this Moira tries desperately to make it back from spawn in time. And there comes the attack. Mr. Gopher finding 3, and that should be it in quick succession. Both points, as White River not going to survive very long.
Yeah, Mr. Gopher going on the flank. Once again, we see the bomb on point just to make sure nobody can touch it. And even though they had a couple ults, with just them getting picked off, I feel like they need to be, you know, doing a better job of scouting and figuring out where the attacks are coming from, so they know how to prepare their defense. But, you know, great job from Mr. Gopher twice now to open up the point and let the Moose Overlords cap pretty easily.
Yeah, so we'll have to see how they set up this defense. What kind of things that the Arctic Foxes try on offense, because really for them it's just been a tough day. Nothing has been working for them, and it's definitely going to be a kind of back to the drawing board type situation, really trying to get some more of that practice in and try and get some of that coordination down for their next.
Yeah, I'd like to see, honestly, because I'm assuming we're going to see a Goats-esque defense. You know, I'd like to see them, you know, pull out some more hit scan people, or just, you know, put another Pharah out there and, you know, start taking them out, because you're only going to have Night Knight and Jargon who can really do a good job of taking her out of the sky.
Well, ironically, I think Pharah is the perfect thing to combo with an Orisa Diva, because it's really difficult to play Soldier against to play any hit scan really against Orisa Diva. I would say maybe playing McCree, since you can do some nice shield damage with the right click now. But because there's just so many shields and things in the way eating up your shots, I mean, using the projectile, especially Hanzo or Junkrat, is just so much stronger against these types of comps. But that's what they've been doing, and it hasn't been working. So really just gotta try and look for some more answers here.
Mr. Gopher hiding once again on another big flank, but Dranty Pants already takes people down, and this is huge.
Yeah, Dranty Pants finding 2, looking for another. This Hanzo's so low. White River goes down, but they lose a Zealy at the attacker's spawn door. That could be dangerous, but Spire and Parallax go down shortly after, so they won't have time to take advantage of that pick that they just found.
Yeah, absolutely. And switching off of Hanzo to Zenyatta, I actually really like the Hanzo play, because if you're able to land your shots, you could really, really do some damage, because Moose Overlords, they're, you know, Mr. Gopher and Dranty Pants are playing really aggressive right now, and you could definitely get a pick on them.
Yeah, they're definitely trying to push this advantage as much as they can. We see someone getting stuck in Dranty Pants' trap there, They're both just inside this building, and there's nothing that the Arctic Foxes can do about him right now. Mr. Jerbear trying to challenge him, but not able to find any damage, and Azili now fully pocketing Mr. Gopher, who's really just going for some damage right now. Not able to find any kills, though. And as I say that, White River going down to Mr. Gopher, Drainy Pants finding 2 with a tire. And someone was on point for this Arctic Fox's attack. That was Spire. Looks like he's just going to try and jump away. Or maybe he's trying to distract this defense. I'm not sure.
Yeah, and they're doing a good job forcing people to go back, but not capitalizing it by actually taking room. And we're going to see Mr. Jerbear switch to his own Junkrat to try and counter what Drainty Pants is doing, but at the moment, not working out.
Yeah, we see Flameboy on the Pharah trying to take advantage of the fact that they have nothing that can really challenge the Pharah, but it doesn't matter if he can't really find the damage that he's looking for.
Yeah, and right now they're just playing super, super aggressive. And I think the main problem is they're not able to get the kills. Like, if they get them a little low, it's just not enough. And Mr. Gopher just goes down, drops down, gets the 3K, and this is going to be looking like a wrap.
Yeah, we just see the Arctic Foxes really struggling to play together here, and the Moose Overlords are really just taking advantage of it as they keep going down one by one. Also, I mean, and then when they manage to, when they're playing together, Drainy Pants and Mr. Gopher just pop on down with the Riptire and the Death Blossom. It's just an unfortunate combo for them to rush into here.
Absolutely. They finally do take Drainty Pants down. I'm wondering if Azili's going to come over and get the res, and we do see that. You know, you got to be able to stop that if you're the Arctic Foxes.
Yeah, and that, I mean, it's just yet another thing that they're kind of struggling to do today. Is Azili gonna pop the Valkyrie, not really able to find any value out of it. So that's actually somewhat of a misplay that I see from Moose Overlords. They generally use their ults well. Here comes a charge from Parallax. Night Knight does have the Diva Bomb available. I'm guessing she's going to try and find a use for it here as the rally comes out from Brig. I forgot what the word was for a second there. Flameboy able to find 1 and a Diva Mech with that barrage, but Mr. Gopher in the back line finding 3 and make it 4 actually.
Yeah, sadly, Flameboy's barrage just was not enough to also take down Azili. And so with that, it just looks like they're going to be capping the point. You got to feel really bad for Snow Parallax. Had the ultimate, but the shield was just up, and it just Jargon was able to block all of it.
Yeah, and so now 10 seconds left, and it's just going to be a race to see if they can even trigger overtime here. Flameboy able to find Drainty Pants, so that's definitely a good start. But Jerbear losing the mech, he's probably the most mobile on that attack, and they're not going to make it. That's going to be Moose Overlords really just coming out to play.
Yeah, absolutely. And so they're going to be taking this series 3-0 right now, which means they did win. And we're going to watch this clutch play of the game by Drainty Pants.
And we see yet again a play from the start of the game from Drainty Pants. That trap catching the Mercy. I was actually watching this and then trying to get the kill, trying to finish off the Hanzo. Able to do it there with that concussion. And that was just, they're putting on a masterclass on how to play some Overwatch today.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, as I was saying, they are going to take the series, but we will be playing all 4 games because we do use map score as a tiebreaker. So this will be important, similar to how the Overwatch League does it. So even though the series is won for the Moose Overlords, Arctic Foxes still need to get together and rally so that we can finish off this series. I'm really looking forward to what kind of offense and defense they bring into Blizzard World, because if they just start working together a little bit more and getting a little bit more coordinated, they could actually put up some pretty good, defenses and offenses going into it.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Blizzard World has always been a map that's interested me since it came out, really. It feels like it's been a lot shorter than it has been. It's been out for a while. And it's definitely one that you can never really pin down. You never really know what the other team is going to run. Although I guess in this case, I'm fairly certain the Moose Overlords are going to bring out an Orisa Hog again. But they didn't on Volskaya. They didn't on that attack. They ran the Reaper. So we'll see what they decide to do this time going into Blizzard World.
Absolutely. And as we get into this, I do expect to see that patented Orisa Hog. The question is, how many hooks are we going to see Mr. Gopher pull off before they even get to the point? That's the real question.
Well, I mean, and that's definitely tough to see because it's actually a long walk to that first point, and I imagine they'll probably be playing the top left high ground, either that or maybe the low ground to the right side of the point around the statue. Maybe they'll probably be playing an aggressive push again, but I can't imagine that they'd be out by attackers spawn. We are going to be seeing the Moose Overlords starting on the defense once again, back to their I think they really prefer playing on the defensive side, honestly.
Yeah, they seem a lot more comfortable knowing a couple different chokes and going on a couple different flanks to get behind them if the offense isn't checking everything. We've seen Mr. Gopher and Dranty Pants really just kind of hide and, either, especially with the Junkrat, get some concussive mines off and really start to pick people off at the very beginning, and then are able to escape slyly and get back.
Yeah, and so we'll see. It looks like we're going to see an Orisa Hog coming out on the attack from the side of the Arctic Foxes. They're going to try their hand at this combination, and we're actually going to see a Widow Hanzo from them as well. So actually some exciting decisions here. Mr. Gopher playing my favorite cowboy, McCreamy, is coming out. We're going to see the Orisa Diva once again from the Moose Overlords defense.
Yeah, that's a very surprising combination, but double sniper, I think this is going to be great if they just, kind of hang back trying to figure out where people are, and if they can start getting some picks off. I think taking out Ezeli on Mercy is super, super important to start this match out.
Yeah, and so we're going to see now coming out on the attack, Flameboy taking some early damage on that Roadhog. White River looking for some shots, Jerbear as well, but not quite able to find the angles. We're going to see, once again, a very aggressive position for Moose Overlords, but not quite as aggressive as I might have expected. Riptor coming out now, able to find the Hog, not able to finish off Snow Parallax on the Zen, though. And they're so close to spawn, they'll probably just wait for Flameboy to come back.
Yeah, Mr. Gopher getting really aggressive. He needs to be careful because Mr. Jerbear can take him out with one shot, and really needs to start getting behind some shields.
Yeah, Mr. Jerbear currently trying to find positioning here for a shot, really playing a lot more conservatively. And I think this is just one of the effects of playing against this Moose Overlords team. They're so oppressive on this attack. They're relentless, pushing forward into Orisa right there. Looked like they might have been pushing on a Flameboy as well, but the threat of that Hanzo Widow might be just enough to keep them from going all out like they want to.
And another Riptire already farmed, and is probably going to get another 2K here. Nope, only gets Orisa, but did take out Roadhog earlier to really start this match off.
Yeah, and I think it's just, for the Arctic Foxes, they really I think they really want to play more aggressive with this comp, but they've been so shell-shocked by the play of the Moose Overlords that they're really just waiting for them to push right now. And of course, that just puts them in the worst possible position.
Yeah, and Mr. Gopher getting way too aggressive. Now Snow Parallax takes him out, and they're really going to be able to push forward with these 2 picks, with Dranty Pants going down too.
And now we're going to see Dranty Pants goes down, but he gets rezzed up, unfortunately. But a big Dragon Strike coming from White River, finds 2, but Dranty Pants fighting back, finds 2 of his own with the tire, but it doesn't matter. Defense is all but wiped out. Mr. Gopher is a one-man army. We'll see if, I mean, he's good, but I don't think he's good enough to hold this on his own. But look at this, just the fear, the way he's been playing. They've got 3 people here, and it took them a while to just push out onto him. That might have stalled out long enough for Moose Overlords to get back and contest this point fully.
Yeah, they did not feel comfortable getting back, and Night Knight gets taken down trying to get back into the mech, which is absolutely huge. But now with, Jargon back on point and Ezeli there too, I think they're going to be able to make this hold.
Especially Dr. Bright on the Brig. playing aggressively when the Orisa couldn't push, able to take that point. And you see there the versatility of a Brig and why you really want it on a defensive comp like this. Arctic Foxes still trying to fight this out. White River is there on the Hanzo. Oh, but the Deadeye, Mr. Gopher able to finish him off. There's no escape. Snow Parallax getting stunned, but he couldn't fight. He couldn't quite find the shot. Flameboy gonna take him down, but look at that. Azili able to get the res in such a close range situation.
Yeah, I feel like Azili's been getting so many reses in the face of the Arctic Foxes and a huge ultimate by Night Knight.
Yeah, we see their Spire and Mr. Jerbear were trying to jump onto the point and force the defense into a bad position there, but Night Knight not panicking. Neither were the rest of the Moose Overlords, finding a 2K with the bomb there, able to find a time to shine in the midst of some amazing play from Dranty Vance and Mr. Gopher.
Yeah. And you see another Riptire coming out from Dranty Pants, and I'm just surprised that, you know, Dr. Bright, you're talking about a Brigitte play, but holding on to the ultimate and just really doing a great job of keeping people alive and, you know, keeping people off the point has been impressive. Using the rally at the very end just because.
Yeah, I mean, it's something we've been seeing all day from them is the alt economy plays. They're just so strong. They're so disciplined. And it's really impressive to me because it's something that, I mean, 9 out of 10 teams that fail, I mean, there's so many things that can go wrong in any one Overwatch match. There's so many things that can go wrong with a team, but getting alt economy down is one of the most difficult parts about playing in a competitive setting, and they've really done a great job today.
Absolutely, and I honestly think Dranty Pants on that Junkrat has been just kind of impressive, you know, building up his ult so fast and then getting multiple kills on each of his, you know, Riptires has really helped open the door for the defense to take really aggressive positions and hold them. And then as well on the offensive side, just, you know, open the door to, you know, get on the point early.
Yeah, so, and we'll be seeing actually almost the same comp they tried to run on offense, this Widow Hanzo. Maybe it'll work out better for them on defense. The angles are a little bit better, especially since they seem to play more conservative with compositions like this, and actually just in general. On the attack, we'll be seeing a double projectile, Gopher on the Pharah and Dranty Pants on the Junkrat. So they're really going to be challenging Mr. Jerbear on this Widow here to take down Mr. Gopher. And I think Flameboy will be another one to watch. He was getting some decent picks on the attack, so we'll see if he can start to punish some of the aggressive playstyle from the Moose Overlords.
Yeah, and we see some people in the shooting range open for Mr. Jerbear, but not able to land a shot yet. So it really lets Mr. Gopher hide behind these, you know, doorways and rocks. But getting a pick off right now.
Yeah, finds one onto Dranty Pants. He has a great angle. Really easy for him to find shots here, but he is vulnerable being behind that statue. In the meantime, the res did come out, so both teams are at full strength, and the Moose Overlords are looking for their opening to push.
Yeah, absolutely. And right now, it's actually not going well. It's the first time we're seeing them get halted, and another pick, you know, getting Night Knight's mech is huge.
I think this is something that I was at for a while, though, is the Moose Overlords, they are great at making these big burst plays, but their actual, like, trying to push right now is very difficult for them. They can't quite find the combos they're looking for, but there we go. Flameboy goes down. That's the opening they wanted, and they're going to push in further, looking for more damage. Jerbear looking up in the sky, trying to take down Mr. Gopher, and there comes the sound barrier, and nobody on this defense is going to go down anytime soon. Spire taking so much damage all by himself on that Orisa. Finally going to go down there, and now Dr. Bright on this Brig, on the point, has a rally up. Will we see him using Dranty Pants? Quick pull Riptire, finds 3, and that should be it for Blizzard World today.
Wow, what a clutch play. I was just wondering why he hadn't used the Riptire yet, and he just wanted to get right into the faces and pop another 3-man Riptire. What an insane play.
Really just bringing out the welcome mat, as our old friend Torbjorn would say. I think it's he gets the clean sweep on the plays of the game. And this one is actually going to be that one we just saw. This 3K right here, the quick rip, as I like to call it, pulling it out real quick, finishing him off. And I mean, a 3K in that situation with the whole team on the point, 8 rip tire kills. Drancy Pants really knows how to farm those rip tires.
Absolutely. Very, very impressive. But we also have to say, Arctic Foxes did an insanely good job of holding that first point for a long time, and they were doing a really good job at that choke. It was impressive. They didn't, Moose Overlords kind of just, bull rushed their way through, but I mean, the double sniper was working, so that was really awesome to see.
Yeah, so we got some good games today. The Moose Overlords, of course, coming away with the victory, taking all 4 maps today. So that's certainly going to be good for them later on in the season. And of course, we would like to thank everyone for tuning in to the Alaska region of Season 3 of EGFH. As I mentioned, we had Moose Overlords taking the victory. Of course, this is so much. We would want. I got a little tongue-tied. You can follow us at official EGF on Twitter and Twitch. Of course, that's where you want to go if you want all of the updates and announcements. I'd like to once again thank our sponsor, Mob Crush, for helping make this season possible. This is Cool J, and you can find me on Twitter at CoolJ_OW. Please follow me.
Yeah, make sure you send a follow his way. He's been doing a great job, and back for another season of casting. I'm Alex Mambolina. You normally see me behind the screen, pressing all the buttons. But today I stepped up to give a little mic action. So thank you guys very much for tuning in, and we'll catch you guys next time.